In the summer of 2014, detectives Rocky Gregory and Kim Davis are knocking on doors in northeast Oklahoma City, finding more and more potential victims. They begin to notice Daniel Holtzclaw's alleged attacks appear to escalate in frequency and severity.
There was a night where he struck more than once.
The attacks couldn't have got more close together than they were that last night.
He was ramping up.
And he was taking bigger risks. And finally, he made a mistake.
The mistake? Pulling over Janie Liggins with his GPS system turned off. And unlike the other accusers, Janie Liggins has no outstanding warrants. Her only criminal history, a drug arrest 3 decades ago.
If Janie wouldn't have come forward, I don't know where we'd be today.
By August 21st, 2014, police have 8 women who say Holtzclaw sexually assaulted them and enough evidence to arrest him. That day, Police Chief Bill City calls an urgent press conference at police headquarters.
Actually coerced them into providing sexual favors.
What was the feeling as a police chief to tell the community that there was a cop who was sexually assaulting women?
It's a sickening feeling. The one thing we have always tried to do is that to be completely open as we can be.
We're not hiding this.
Our officers, 99.9% of them are trustworthy. It taints all of us.
An Oklahoma City police officer arrested this afternoon.
A media blitz.
That officer is being booked into jail. When she was picked up by the officer in his patrol car,
advocates are coming forward in support of the alleged victims.
Law enforcement officers are put in place for your safety. They are public servants. And when they fail to do that, then we fail to protect our most vulnerable citizens.
Come forward. We will support you and we will back you 100%. That's the state of Oklahoma NAACP.
Holtzclaw is formally charged with 16 counts against 8 women and is confined to house arrest at his family's home in Enid. As the investigation presses on, the charges against the officer continue to mount and fears the case could cause chaos in the community.
The nation facing rampant racial tension and suspicion of police. Oklahoma City on edge with the arrest of a cop for sexual assault. Police seeking common ground with community activists as they demand justice.
By November of 2014, the Daniel Holtzclaw case is making headlines in Oklahoma amid a backdrop of racial tension nationwide. Riots gripping Ferguson, Missouri. Resentment and fear of police reaching a boiling point.
With everything that was going on nationwide with Ferguson and with the environment and the issues that the minority community was raising and the distrust issues, it was almost like the perfect storm as the chief.
Explosive allegations in an environment waiting to ignite. The chief talks with Artists for Justice, a newly formed group of victims advocates.
I tried to explain what we wanted to do and trying to help and support the victims and support them to support the victims.
Community activist Grace Franklin.
One of the things that Chief City told us before we had a formal meeting at a council hearing was, we're taking this seriously. Investigation is happening internally. We will take action if needed.
As police try to reassure residents, prosecutors are readying their case and detectives are finding more victims. September 26, 2014, Holtzclaw is charged with 10 additional counts against 2 more women. November 4th, state attorneys file 6 more charges from 3 new women. And on November 19th, the linchpin of the case. Holtzclaw is charged with 4 additional counts, including rape of his youngest victim. Think back to this moment during Daniel Holtzclaw's interrogation.
Pants in his bag.
Detectives taking his uniform pants for testing. The results? A bombshell. Investigators find female DNA on the inside of the fly, but they don't know who it belongs to.
But we weren't going to stop till we found that unknown DNA.
After months of searching, the biggest break in the case. That DNA matches a 17-year-old girl. The teen claims Holtzclaw stopped her with her friends, questioned her, then took her to her home, where he raped her.
He just assaulted her there on the porch. After he left, he called her mom and said, "Is there?"
Cell phone records reveal Holtzclaw made a call to the 17-year-old victim's mother.
The mom just immediately was like, "What are you doing calling my daughter? If you have a problem, she's a juvenile, you need to be calling me."
With the DNA discovery and call records, Holtzclaw is now facing a total of 13 accusers, all of them black women. As the trial approaches, family and friends start a campaign to raise money for the embattled officer. Thousands of dollars are collected on Holtzclaw's behalf. But from Holtzclaw, silence. With the new year, a new reality for the disgraced cop. On January 8, 2015, Oklahoma City Police Chief Bill City announces Daniel Holtzclaw's official termination. City concludes his letter to Holtzclaw with pointed language, writing, "Your offenses committed against women in our community constitute the greatest abuse of police authority I have witnessed in my 37 years as a member of this agency."
He was terminated. And that's a big thing. That was huge, because most police officers don't get fired until they get convicted.
Holtzclaw appeals his firing and asks for backup from the Fraternal Order of Police.
We felt that there was enough reason to sustain the department's decision of termination.
Holtzclaw's brothers and sisters in uniform opting not to assist him in his fight to rejoin the force. For nearly a year, detectives and prosecutors piece together the victims' stories, compile evidence, and gear up for one of the longest trials in Oklahoma County history. November 2nd, 2015, the trial begins.
Coming up, concerns about the court.
This was an all-white jury. Were you ever worried about an acquittal?
Could an all-white jury, predominantly male, reach a fair verdict in the case?